Hi everyone, can you let me know in the chat if you can hear me? It's the first live stream we've done for a little while. I had some issues with YouTube, which is why we're delayed 15 minutes, but I think we're all good to go. I'm just waiting for people to let me know they can hear me. Okay, I've got one yes, two. Okay, I'll just get started. If there are any issues, just let me know and I'll keep a look on the chat. Okay, cool, sweet, I'm gonna go for it. Right, so Bitcoin is, hang on. Did any of you watch the on-chain metrics video I put out a few hours ago leading into this? If you could just let me know in the chat, just say watched or blah blah blah, just so I know where I'm working from. But that video was quite important in terms of depicting where we're at in this cycle. Okay, I'm seeing a few more yeses come in. Nice. Okay, so Bitcoin can play out a few different ways here. At this moment in time, we're seeing on-chain data-wise, we're seeing that from May onwards, retail completely left. All the normal newbie traders, all of those guys, they all left, and they have not come back since. I looked at the Google Trends indicator, which I put in that video. It was at not an all-time low, sorry, a yearly low for 2021. It was at a yearly low, so that means retail was nowhere to be seen. From May through to October, we had a rush of money come in from the institutions, the hedge funds. However, the volume didn't pick up greatly following October time. So, I mean, we're talking, they were coming in here. If you look to the chart now, all the institutions, as soon as we broke this point here, it was clear we were out of this downtrend and we were going to have a burst and a slight run up. So we had this main downtrend line from the all-time, well, obviously now not the all-time high, but the old all-time high was there. We had this downtrend line coming here, and as we broke above, the institutional volume came in dramatically. So we had a lot of it come in here. We then saw it peter out slightly in this part, because obviously you had the bear divs playing out. We're on the daily time frame, by the way. So always look on the daily time frame to give yourself a good chance at forming the sort of most accurate analysis you can. So on the daily time frame, we got quite a few bear divs here. So you saw the volume wind down slightly, and then in here we had this move low here. We didn't actually fill yellow box, which is, it's a bit mental actually, because usually it does fill. This is the main yellow box we filled. Yellow box here we filled. We've had a rebound, but here we didn't actually fill it, but we got the bull div there, and it was enough to break us out. And you saw loads of volume come in here from the institutions again. Now we've not seen any more volume come in since after this point. Obviously, we've had this run up here. The institutions, the hedge funds, blah blah blah, they're not interested in Bitcoin at these values here. They want to be buying at lows. We're now starting to see that there has been an uptick in interest, but not enough interest as of yet. So what's that telling us? That's telling us that at this moment in time, they're probably still on their holidays, but that the market does want to go in that direction. So the hedge funds, institutions, they probably do want to start jumping on board. And I watched an interview with someone who worked for Grayscale, and they basically said that anything north of 50, 55, they don't get any rings. And when it becomes below 50k, the hedge funds start ringing up to say, look, we might be interested here, blah, blah, blah. And they want to start doing deals and buying up Bitcoin. So I think what we'll see is, I'm seeing a lot of people saying we're retesting this trend line. So what I think we'll do is we could come into this yellow box, fill it a bit more, and almost go for a slight accumulation phase, similar to this. But I don't think it will be that long. I think, sorry, I was saying before that the hedge funds are probably still on holiday mode. So, come early January, they'll be sat back at their desk with fresh P&Ls, and they'll need to start reallocating their money or capital into new positions, and this may interest them. Now, I think we can go lower than the yellow box. I do. I think we can go to the green box. Now, I also think we can bounce from here because it's a higher low. The RSI is clean. I would say that it's probably 33% chance split that we go higher from here, or we have some form of consolidation phase, which is why in the 2K challenge I didn't panic loads. I de-risked slightly from some of the more profitable positions and the ones that are run a lot. For instance, Luna, I wanted to de-risk from Chainlink. I can't remember some of the others. But it was just a case of de-risking because we're not sure what's going to happen. So if we do get a run-up, we're still nicely exposed and we profit from it. But if we do get a move down, well, we've now taken some dollars back, so we've cashed in some of our positions, and we can reallocate it down in here. But if we do go up, we do consolidate, fine. We still make good money. So I'd say there's a 33% chance that, well, I'd say there's a 30% chance we go higher from here. I'd say there's a 30% chance we fill the box more and have more of a consolidation phase. And we might even get the chance of a bump and run. So this red trend line, we get a move down, touch it. You can see we filled orders in the box. There's still orders in the yellow box. And the orange box is proving an absolute, piece of work to get past. And I drew these boxes up as we had this crash. So the fact that we've been range bound between the two, and this is the main orange box. This isn't even the main one. This is a local one. So the fact that I've drawn these boxes, hang on, let me extend it, sorry. And they still seem to be holding a lot of orders now, which is why I think, sorry, it's a bit laggy because of the stream. I think there will still be orders in this range. So between 43.9 and where we didn't fill, so 45.400. I think, so that's 43.9 to 45.400. I think there will still be orders there, and I think now we'll have heavy orders in this green box. So it'll be between 43.2 and 41.7. Now, I think there's a very slim chance. I think there's probably a 25-30% chance we get to the green box and we go from there. I think there's a very slim chance we break 40k. I don't see it. I was quite confident in here that we were going to have a bounce because of the wedge formation, the bull divs that were created, and we did get the nice bounce. I didn't think we'd get rejected again here. I did think we'd go and make. I thought we at least push to 53 and test 53, and we've not got that. But I personally think we'll be range bound for a bit, or we'll bounce off the trend line and we'll start moving in. But I still think it will be range bound for a while. I think we're not going until we start seeing the on-chain data improve. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great either. We need to start seeing that big money come in again, and retail will come in once we go past 70k. So assuming I'm right, and we do have another leg of the bull run, I think the retail will come in. They're the ones that basically put the profit in your pocket. Because when you want to sell your bags, they're the plonkers that are buying it off you, basically, because they only become interested when the hype is there. And we are at a yearly low, or for 2021 we're at a low for retail interest. Sorry, I see comments are coming through. Let me just adjust. Okay, so I think we'll be range bound, basically. I think we've got a chance of filling the green box. I think we've got a chance of popping up. I think mostly we're going to be range bound until sort of early to mid-January, and we should see early signs of on-chain data changing in early January. So I would say just no panic, sit on your hands for now, have some exposure, but don't be overexposed. That's it for now on in terms of Bitcoin. The alts are looking slightly different. So Ethereum is looking on-chain-wise pretty nasty. So yeah, on-chain-wise, it's not looking great. We've got a break of this downtrend line. Is it going to test? I don't know. We have this level here, and we have these levels here. I think this green box is unlikely. Let's get rid of it. I think the yellow box could be filled if, Bitcoin did have a move down to, say, 41, 42. Then I would be looking for orders here on Ethereum. I'm not fully confident we're going to fill the 41 area in Bitcoin. So I would say, I probably wouldn't fill this yellow box now. Or if you do want to play it really small. And I'd say the next zone to play slightly bigger would be the green zone. But I would be I'd play 10% of my whatever I want to trade on Ethereum. Say I've allocated $2,000 to myself. I'd maybe put $200 into a small leverage trade here. I'd maybe put $400 into a small leverage trade here. I'd probably put $1,000 into a small leverage trade here. So, or a bigger leverage trade here. But the same leverage is what I mean, sorry. So it would still be a 10x leverage for me. But I always encourage to play spot rather than leverage, especially when you don't have like a proven system. Obviously, I'm giving it to you guys, but just because you can give out a winning strategy doesn't mean you can trade it profitably, because you have to overcome the emotion. You have to manage your size quite well. There's lots of different things that can cause you to cock it up slightly. So that's Ethereum for now. Ethereum on chain wise, for whoever who watched it, It's not good. You've got when we broke this trend line here, 15th of November. Yeah, it was there. We saw a lot of long-term Ethereum holders selling. There was a big spike in coin days destroyed, which means the coins being sold are old coins, and we haven't seen any of the inflows in terms of accumulation yet. I think if we get a move down to here, I think they'll be buying again. Yeah, but I think we need to get down here. We need to move a 41k Bitcoin move, maybe a fast wick down, slightly similar to this. But I don't know if we're even going to get that, because unless we just go range bound, because even the fear and greed index is still quite fearful. I think we're at 27. So at this moment in time, it's all very up in the air. I would say be exposed to crypto, be exposed to alts, but don't be overexposed. Keep some dollars on the side so you can buy in again and lower your average entry. So that's for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'll start whizzing through the rest now, because I'm conscious I want to keep this quite short, because I know I do talk loads and I go over things quite a lot. So Litecoin I was very interested in. I bought in this blue candle breakout, thinking we've stayed above the horizontal support. We're now at the downtrend line. We did the trade at 154.75, so literally like here, hoping we're going to get this breakout. We did get the breakout slightly. It was a fake out, closed below, rejection candle, and now we're retesting again. So I am interested in this, but I still want to see how it plays out a bit more. So if I start seeing, if we get a move up to here and consolidate on this white line, that might be a sort of, hello to me to say, yeah, sweet, let's play this one and give it another go. But for now, I'm not jumping in anything. I want to see how it does. Solana. Solana is a weird one right now. I would maybe say you could have orders in this yellow box towards the bottom between 147 and 140 odd. We might consolidate on the white horizontal support line, but I wouldn't be buying here. In terms of like a new position, a new entry, here is not interesting me. The yellow box would interest me again. We can always usually get a bounce. Yellow box was there, we got a bounce. Yellow box was here, we got a wick in, and then it closed up. Obviously, then started coming down. But you always have a chance to usually take good profits. But yeah, here we got a big fill of the yellow box and move out. You can see the main master one here, which had the green convergence box as well, didn't even fill. So it might be the case we work out. Okay, I might post a new one and work out a new one. It will probably be somewhere around here. So I'll do that and I'll put it in the watch list so you guys can see. But yeah, I've forgotten that, because I know this is the master one for this rally. But we've had a new rally. I'll try and rework it. That might even be the one. But let me do it in the watch list and I'll come back to you guys. Matic. This is a monster, this coin. It just never wants to retrace. I think you can get fills in here, but it keeps just doing this stair-step type pattern. I don't know if I'd want to be heavily. If I didn't have any exposure to Matic, I'd say do a small position in here just to get some exposure. But this is where I would be really interested in Matic. I would want a fast wick in so I can see that we still hold the trend line. But I mean, you're talking about it coming back 40%. I don't think we're even going to get it, to be honest. But yeah, let's do link. Okay, Chainlink, I do really like Chainlink at this moment in time. If I zoom right out, look at the main orange box. It's gone in there, touched it once, touched it twice, touched it 3 times, and it just cannot seem to get above it. So yeah, that's proving difficult. But in terms of long-term uptrends, this is our uptrend line. We're at the trend line. You've had bounces here, bounces here, bounces here, bounces here. So I don't see why we're desperate to be selling any Chainlink here. I want to see how Bitcoin plays out, but again, the positions we've done over recent days. Yes, I've just seen your comment. I will get to Atom. I've gone through all of the coins that people requested, so don't worry, they'll all be there. Yeah, the Litecoin Bitcoin chart. Sorry, I'm just looking at a few of the comments. The Litecoin Bitcoin chart is ridiculous as well. So let me go back to Litecoin and then I'll come back to Chainlink. So this is the Litecoin Bitcoin chart. Let me go on the 3-day chart. So each candle here is 3 days. This is support. This has been formed from February 2018. And I mean, you're now compressing in here and like squeezing, but holding this white line. If you was to fall below this white line, you'd get absolutely battered. But I think Litecoin is really primed. So the coins we've entered the last few days, going back to what I was just saying. So let's go back to Chainlink as well. The coins we've entered were mostly Chainlink, DOT, and Litecoin. Litecoin I like for a lot of reasons. Chainlink I like for a lot of reasons because they're on their main trend lines. They've got so much potential to break out, and that's where you want to allocate yourself and be like risk on. You want to be risk on to those assets that look really, really primed to go. Because the professional traders are looking at this thinking, this has got opportunity in it. Just to go back to here, you're talking about nearly doubling your money. Imagine if it was done an all-time high. You've done 2.5 times your money in, let's be fair, a pretty safe altcoin. Chainlink is, it's very good. It's always going to be around pretty much. I bank on it still being here in 2-3 years time. So if worse comes to worse, you could always hold. But I mean, you're not buying in at highs. You're buying in at lows where people, are petrified really to be buying in now. So I don't see there being huge risk with these plays such as Link and Litecoin. Where something like Matic is towards all-time highs, the risk reward is, even though it's such a great project, the risk reward is not really there. So it is if you're holding it and you've been holding it for a really long time, then and your average entry is really low. Just continue to hold it and sell it at the top of the market. But in terms of looking for entries in the next week, 2 weeks, it's not something that's really on my mind. BNB, bit of a weird one at the moment. BNB. So again, it broke out this wedge-like pattern. We got to move out. It's now been rejected with Bitcoin. It never filled these boxes. So this is, let me move this up, sorry. I would probably look for heavy orders here, to be honest. If we did come as low as this, between 475 and 430, if we did get down there for BNB, I would consider loading up. Because it's not often that BNB fills its boxes, because it just never goes low enough to fill them. So yeah, this is something I'd be really interested in, assuming it goes that low. But with Bitcoin only going to 40, if Bitcoin goes to 41, we might get this. If Bitcoin goes to 44, 45, 46, I don't think we get this. But again, let's see. Sushi is one we have in our 2K challenge. It's done a bit of a ridiculous run up. It might be worth taking some risk out of it. So if you've got 100 of them, take out 50. Or if you've got 2 of them, take out 1. Sell 1 of them. That's probably the way to go with it. Just because it might come back down to here. It sort of stops this horizontal resistance, can't get above. It might come down, test support, and you might reload up on the one, half of what you just sold. AVAX held a really nice trend line. Again, AVAX is similar to BNB. It doesn't often fill its boxes. So it did fill here. It did, it touched. It did feel nice here. This was actually a really nice fill. This is the first time I got my first bag of AVAX. And I think I sold somewhere when it got resistance at the high here, like an absolute idiot. I only got sort of 60% rather than going all the way up there and nearly tripling my money. But we might get squeezed into this sort of wedge-like formation, created from the downtrend and the uptrend. We might get a move into here. This is where I'd be looking to add. I only want to add where the opportunity is really in my favour, where the risk reward is really in my favour. At the bottom of the wedge, say if it came down to here, I probably wouldn't add. If I was desperate to have the bet or the gamble, I would have maybe a small position. But I'm not like that, I'm afraid. So I would be looking to add here when the opportunity really hits me that, yes, this is a great opportunity, I want to take it. Someone asked for Eng in the group chat, so I've done it for you. It filled its yellow box. It plays the boxes quite well. It's been stuck in a downtrend. If Bitcoin does break lower, I would try and buy it in the green, because look how crazy some of these wicks are. You've got to move. This candle opened, this daily candle, at $3. You've got to move and filled orders all the way down to 231. I mean, if you didn't put a stop loss, you would have been okay. And then you've got to close back up at 302, and the day started at 309. So I mean, you could have bought in at sort of a 30% discount and made 30% in that day. But yeah, it's pretty mental. But what we usually see is we see a fast wick in. We then see these patterns like this, similar to what Bitcoin done. We've got that fast wick in, and then you make bullish divergences. So we had one here, had one here, we had another here, which made the move up go basically. But yeah, that's it for there. I'm not. Engine isn't one I'm really interested in. I want to see how Bitcoin plays out. So we're sort of in limbo mode at this moment in time. I'm not looking to add this anytime soon, basically, until I see something that really favors me. Luna's an absolute monster. In the 2K challenge, we put orders in here at 51 and 50. We got the fill at 51, but not the fill at 50. So we did pretty well. I think we sold somewhere in here at like 87 or something. So you nearly doubled your money. You made about 80%, which is pretty good. This is the main box. Do I think we're going to get there? I'd say probably, gets close to no chance. But this would be the next area I'm interested. But again, I want to see what Bitcoin does. So it's out of trend slightly. So you might get a move down into here. This is entirely possible. I would consider making a small position here. Let's move on to Polkadot. So Polkadot is another one of the ones I liked. It couldn't get past the horizontal. It's similar to Chainlink. Couldn't get past the horizontal resistance. Has found some support. It seems you've got a decent bull bear battle there. Let's see how it does. But I would want to see this sort of. It can come down here. I wouldn't be petrified if it did come down here. But I want to see it hold this higher level whilst Bitcoin goes through this consolidation mode. If it does consolidate, I'd expect it to hold this level. If it does break down to 41, I would expect it to only break down to here and then sort of quickly claim above. But again, let's see. Nothing screams to me right now that I should be buying. So I just monitor it, track Bitcoin, see how the market plays out, wait for the on-chain data to either pick a side from January onwards when the funds and institutions come back in. And I'll keep assessing it between now and then. As I see a side be picked in, they might be shorting it heavily, you don't know. But as I see the on-chain data either improve or worsen in January, I'll then start looking for either longs if it improves or shorts if it worsens. I think it will be in the favour of longing. But for now, I monitor. I don't take any rash decisions. I'm still exposed, but as in I'm still in position. Like the 2K challenge, it's a portfolio. We let it run in a in a downturning market. And the market's been pretty brutal over the last 2 months. I mean, Polkadot's gone from 54 down to 23, and I think we're only down sort of 20-odd%. So I mean, Polkadot is down pretty much 50%. So we've not done too badly, but so that you'd like to think if you were outperforming the main alts, they're in an uptrending market. If Bitcoin and the main alts go and do a 50-75% move, you'd like to think because of how we're positioned, we're going to go and make 100-125% move in that 2-3 month period, whatever it is. But let's see what we get. Curve is another one I like. Curve is mental though. We've got a nice fill of the yellow box, which was perfect. We've got the bull divs also. I mean, these were charts I posted. So if you looked in the watch list each day, I don't post every day because the charts don't change every day. I mean, I'd be pointless me posting the same chart with it up here with this day. I'd only post when something is close to happening, maybe days away. I mean, if we start seeing this come down to here, then I'll post it on those days and do an update for you guys. Yeah, we basically go from there. Here, I can reconsider buying in here, but I'd be a little bit. I would rebuy in here, but let's see how it plays out. I want to see more price action first. You might start getting a downtrending and a wedge happening there, and then it might be worth buying higher up. But Curve is an unbelievable coin. I still hold some of it, like personally as well. But yeah, let's just see how this one plays out. This would be the next area of interest for me. So Compound was one I was looking at. Compound is in this ridiculous downtrend. I mean, at one point it was, I think it was 900. Yeah, 909. So it was at $900 back in May. It's now at 202. So this one is primed to go at some point. You want to? So I was thinking about adding here, and some of us pro guys in the pro expert chat did actually add in this breakout. Again, we got the rejection, so was very unlucky here. But you might lose 10%. Do try it again on a breakout, fake out, lose 10%. Then all of a sudden it might pop. You might go from 200 to 360 very easily. You could very easily do that. And you're talking about making 80, 90%. So it's worth having those early attempts of losing 10%, and then going for the pop of 80, 90%. I mean, if you're doing it leverage, you'll lose 100%, 100%. So if you put $200 in, you'll lose $200. Put $200 in again, you'll lose it. Then you might put $200 in, and it might do it. Even if it goes just up to here, you're talking about doing a 40% move. You then go and make 400%. So the risk reward here is so much more in your favor, and that's why it's really important to manage your money in terms of how much do you bet each time. Because here you are still taking the risk. You can still lose that 10% spot value. I mean, we entered. Even if you entered 240 and you closed below the line at 220, you've lost 10%. But again, it's about picking the opportunities that if they do pop, we're going to pop for you, and they're going to do an 80, 90% run. And it's very capable for this to go from here, even just to there. I mean, you can easily go back to there in a big bull move, and you're talking about making, nearly about 200% on your money potentially. And that, imagine if you do a leverage trade, you've made 2,000%. If you put $100 or put your $200 bet into it, you'll make back $4,000. So the odds are on your side for it, as long as you manage it properly. Let's look at sand. Just coming to the last few now, guys. I can see none of you have really dropped off, so it's good to still have you in here. Because usually, sometimes if I do Bitcoin, a few people start dropping off. Yellow box played well. We even got a wick in there for sand. Zoom in slightly. Sorry, it's slow because of the stream. We've got to move to the orange box. Perfect rejection. I'd now look to next play this level. This would be our next look. And I mean, I hold sand, I hold mana. But in terms of doing an active trade for you guys, where I post it in the trade setups, it would be in this yellow box. That would be where I'm next interested. You have to remember, we have had a huge pump. So this chart doesn't have loads of data there for me to actually work with. So always play these ones smaller when they're not proven to work. Of course, it proved it did work. It played the yellow, played the orange, but it's not done it. I've not got so much back testing data that I can go back through, have a look, and say, how does this one perform? Because it's performed once out of once. So play it small if we do go there. Mana. Again, I'd probably fill the yellow box small order, and I'd probably fill the green box as well. Assuming we get there, we might not get to these levels. I'm only picking out levels that if Bitcoin does have a downturn to 44, 41, if it goes to 44 and the alt bleed, we might get some fills here. If it goes to 41, I'd say there's a good chance we'll get fills where we want to get fills in the boxes. But yeah, it all depends on Bitcoin at this moment in time as to what these guys do. But yeah, that's it for mana. ENS is just one I like. I mean, the chart is horrendous. It's not even worth doing. But ENS is one I like. I hold it in my own portfolio. I think we hold it in the 2K challenge. I'm not fully sure. Phantom, in the last live stream I posted this chart and I posted in the watch list saying I might buy the breakout. Myself, I did actually buy it, but I thought it was really risky, so I didn't put it in the chat. But these ones for the pro members, so for the expert members, the guys that are paying memberships, these trades you'll start getting access to now. I mean, I played it, but I played it small because I know it's still risky. Like Compound was the other day, they're still risky, but they can do these. So who thought who thought Phantom would go and do this? I mean, I've now sold half of my bag, but I mean, if this had come down to, say you're buying in here at 136, and you say my stop loss is 115, you're talking about a 10 or so % loss if you lose. but you only need one to go well. I mean, you've gone from, say, $1.36 to, and you say you sold somewhere in here. Say you sold at 2.10. You've gone and made, what's that, 70%, 80% on your money. So I mean, you're well up, and it pays for all the losses in the risks you've taken. Like, you might have done compound and phantom, and this one is paid. So that's the way to basically play it. But as I said, the pro guide members, the expert members, student members, you'll start getting access to these trades. The riskier ones will go to the expert members, and the ones I feel more sort of like are comfortable with, the student guys will get those ones. Let's look at Mina. Okay, so Mina is still in its box. It's not giving me loads of confidence, to be honest. I like it. It's like a rival to Polkadot, so it will do well at some point. This for me is more. It's more like a longer term hold in my sort of like hodling portfolio. So I'm not interested in adding new positions to this really. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Mina. I would be looking to, maybe if we do get breakdown, I would just keep some dollars aside and add to this if we do start going lower and lower. But I would consider adding sort of at the bottom of the yellow box, just a small position, and if we do go lower, buy in a bit more. And I've been speaking with some of the guys in the pro group now that sorry, it's getting late. Some of you with your trades, you're playing on too small a time frame. So forget the too small time frames, because you can play boxes on the small time frame, but they're not. And I've sat on the sofa for like months and months at a time and back tested all this data. They don't work on small time frames. But on the big time frames, they do work, because on the big time frames you have the hedge funds, the miners, and you have the market makers buying in. But what they don't do is they don't play on the small time frame, because they can't get enough of a position. Because if they want to go and put in 20 million into a trade and they're doing it on that day, they're going to move the market slightly. So what they'll do is, when people are sort of like, crapping themselves, they'll be buying all those sell orders, and they'll be buying when it's at this. So here, the bull div, they'd be buying this. Like 100% they'll be buying, which is why you then got this move up. But yeah, don't go too over leveraged. Always play on bigger time frames. And the last point I was going to say, I have got a few more charts to do, so I will do them. But the last point I was going to say is, always keep money on the side. So if you've got $2,000, put 1,000 in, and then if positions do go against you, you can buy more in and lower your average entry, so that if things are crashing, you buy in lower, you lower your average entry, and at the point where there is that bounce, you're probably at break even at that point. So if you manage your money well, it becomes hard to lose. Not hard, but it's much easier to not lose money. Put it that way. But yeah, I might do a future video on this sort of stuff. I'm not really sure. If you guys want it, obviously I'll do it for you. But yeah, in terms of like the sort of like trading like mindset almost that you need to sort of like be profitable, or to help you be profitable at least, I can definitely help with you guys with that. If it's something you want, just let me know in the chats, and I'll knock up a 10, 15, 20 minute video where I do fill out some sort of form where you guys ask me all your questions and we go from there. But yeah, let's move on. Atom. So Atom we've got a few more. We've got Atom, Alice, and Near. I didn't get around to doing HNT, but I know someone asked for it, so I will do a post on it for them. I can't remember who you are, sorry, but I promise you I will post it for you. I had issues with the YouTube and I didn't get around to doing HNT. Let's do Atom. So Atom, it filled the yellow box quite nicely. I'd want to see it hold this horizontal support now. We can get a move in, but I'd want to see it come up, range bound, create some bear divs, move up into the trend line again. And a lot of the alts are like this. You want to see it create that higher low, be range bound for a bit, create some lower lows that aren't like distressing lows. They need to just be lows that are now, we're at 46k Bitcoin. Now, what does a 45k Bitcoin matter? It's not, but it might create a bull div. So you want to create that bull div on the trade. So here we got a lower low. We actually didn't get any bull divs here. we got one there, but that's it. This is a bad example. This has sort of done me up a little bit here. But no, this one is not a good example. But on Bitcoin, there was a lot of bull divs, and so we might be looking for the same thing here to be range bound, create the bull div, and then move up. And the volume will come in once 1 or 2 bull divs have been created. Yes, Luca, I know you wanted VET as well. I haven't done it. So VET and HNT, I will write a small post on in the watch list either tonight or first thing in the morning. As you can tell, I'm not stressed on any positions right now. I think Bitcoin is range bound, so I don't think anything will move like too ridiculously. But yeah, let's see what we get. But I promise you I'll do the post on it for you guys. Alice, weird coin. It doesn't respect the boxes. So, you're honestly on this one, I can put in sort of the horizontal lines and work out supports and resistances. Again, you might want to see a higher low, to go a bit range bound and then pop. But I think this one, it doesn't respect the boxes. So your guess is almost as good as mine. I can help with the lines, horizontal support and resistances, but generally your guess is as good as mine on this one because I don't have the luxury of the box strategy. But that's it for Alice, which is a bit. Hopefully, it starts being traded more by the professionals, and then it starts respecting the boxes because I know it's the miners and the market makers that play the boxes. So let's see how we do. So near again, it does respect the boxes. We got a yellow. This was a yellow box here. I think we can fill here, but again, I think we would fill here, but I want to see how we play out because obviously we're nearly at the we're not far from the top basically. So this is where I'd be looking to play. Here I don't think we'll even get the opportunity for it to come back down here unless we go into a bear market, which I think is probably unlikely. But yeah, this is where I play. So all you guys that are members from January the 1st, you'll be able to download if you've got a TradingView membership or subscription, whatever it's called. You'll be able to download my chart setups. The students will be able to download all my Bitcoin and Ethereum charts. So you guys will be looking at. You guys will be able to see this chart, see what I think. I'll be able to write an update on it each day to let you guys, like in the mornings, let you guys know what I think and how it might play out. And you'll get that for Bitcoin and Ethereum. For the pro guys, you'll get pretty much all the charts I've covered. I won't write an update on every single one every day because it will just take me hours. But what I will do is any charts that are interesting to me that I think there could be an opportunity here, I will do an update on for you guys. But yeah, that's it. For now, Bitcoin is range bound. Let's see how it goes. Does it create a higher low? Does it go lower? How distressing does it go? How distressingly low does it go if it does go lower? I think we might create a higher low, be range bound for a bit longer, get one last wick down. That might then. So I think we could see something like this. This is what I think we'll more than likely get. Not more than likely get. This is what I hope we get. We might get moved to the bottom of the box, or we might get moved into the green box. If we get moved into the green box, I'll be loading up. But then I think we'll get enough here that we get a wick. Maybe we stay low, create a bull div. Maybe we just go higher and move up. But this is what I think. I think we might get something like this. So I'll save this and see if I've guessed right or not. But either way, we're range bound. I don't think we're going to get a major breakout in the coming days. We're basically I think we're going to be range bound for the first half of, or the first, I'd say, week or so of January. Between now and January, I think what we'll then see is the on-chain data improve or worsen, and we basically then play according to how the on-chain data has gone. Yeah, that's it from me. I'm shattered now. If there's any questions, just ask me in the group and I'll get back to you probably first thing in the morning. Yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot, guys.